Join me today as we create a vibrant watercolor background. And it doesn't get any easier than this. Welcome back to another Take Two with Therese at Altenew, and I've got two beautiful cards to share with you today using the zero waste leaf pattern. This is a cover die, but it actually doesn't cut around the edges of the die. It just cuts the pattern, as well as some really cute funky polka dots. And I'm going to be doing some vibrant watercoloring and create my own background today. So I grabbed a piece of the watercolor paper, and this is going to tolerate quite a bit of water. And to get those vibrant colors, I'm actually using the refills for the watercolor brush markers. I'm starting off by doing a smushing technique. So I've added a little bit of water and the color onto a palette, and then picking it up with some acetate, and then just using the acetate to kind of place the color around on my piece of cardstock. Now it's not overly wet, so it doesn't take too long to dry, but one of my tips here is to allow some drying in between adding different colors, especially if you know they're not going to mix well together and create like a mud kind of color. I can also hit it with my heat tool if I wanted to. I have a low heat setting on my heat tool, so I find that works better. But if you do only have the high setting, just don't hit it for as long, and don't have the heat tool too close to your project, because it can burn the cardstock, but it will also make it warp. So the second way that I'm adding the color is just using a round brush with some water and splotching it on where the white portions of cardstock are still showing, and also doing some splatters as well. There's no point splattering if the paper is still wet, because it's just going to seep in. So you will need to wait for it to dry if you wanted to do that and get that look. I just chose a lot of fun colors that I thought would look really great with these leaf images, and I will have them all linked in the description below, but I'll also have them at the blog, as well as some more close-up photos and more details. So don't forget to head through the link to go and visit there. Now there are other options if you don't have these liquid watercolors. You could get a very similar look with some watercolor paints, or even use some alcohol marker refills, and you could create a similar background using those. I did want to add a little bit more depth, so I actually came in and did some more smushing with a darker color. And then I just basically ran it through my die cutting machine, and voila, we have a lot of leaves. I love that in one pass of the machine I've got enough leaves here to add to multiple projects. And if you stay tuned, I'm going to share another card that I made with some leftover leaves here today as well. And I also wanted to show you that the background is going to look different depending on what color you put behind it, because I thought I might as well use this die cut panel because I think it looks fun. And of course, I really liked the way that it looked with the black, but chose to go with the white because that's just how I roll. And I used a liquid glue to adhere that to the front of my card because it's watercolor cardstock. It has been wet, it wasn't really warped, but I don't want it to go anywhere. I've stamped out one of the Mega Label Love sentiments, and I cut that out leaving a border, which is something I rarely do. Popped that up on the front of the card and added a black heart enamel dot. So now it's time to use up some of those other leaves, the finer ones I thought would look really pretty on a card. I want to make this one a birthday card, so I stamped a sentiment from the birthday greetings stamp set with some Obsidian ink, and now I'm adding some glue tape. Now I did also come in and add some foam tape behind a couple of the leaves just to give it a little bit of dimension, and I could have left it like this but chose instead to add a multi-layered bow which I made with some metallic thread and attached that with a glue dot onto one of the stems. And I did actually come in and add a small black enamel dot on top of that as well. I don't know if that was overkill or not. Let me know if you did like that, or maybe I should have just left it as it was. I just kept playing with this because I wanted to add some of those dots and also some small sequins, tiny ones. And here's the other card that I made using the leftover leaf image. I just added a frame and also a Garden Picks 3D die flower. I think it really changes up the way that that leaf image looks. It becomes part of the background rather than the main focal point, which is what I've used on my other two cards here. So let me know in the comments below which one's your favorite today, and maybe, maybe I should have left well enough alone on my clean and simple design. Till next time, bye.
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye!